So a lot of you guys came here to the channel because of the Losi Nascar. We made a huge impact. I've learned that again yesterday at the Hooters Chassis Outlaw race, where I had literally 8 or 10 people come up to me and was thanking me for the videos and the work that we've done on it. So really appreciate it. Truth is, I sold mine, traded it a couple months ago for some batteries to a fellow racer who wanted to get one because he wanted to race them and there wasn't any available locally. But when the new one comes out sometime in 2025, we'll definitely be having another one. So let's just talk about the whole experience here with the Losi Nascar. So I'm Chad, this is the Dorky and 40 RC channel. The news is kind of gloomy because if you keep an eye on the Horizon site, this went from March. I think they might have put it to April of 2025, and now they're saying spring. And I also see a lot of the parts have been pushed back to May, so on and so forth. I mean, at this point, we don't even know what bodies we were going to get. We don't know what car we're going to get, what it's going to look like. The details, of course, are very limited. Now, most of us had decent experiences. Some people had horrible experiences. I did with one car, and some people had amazing experiences. I got to experience everybody again, having the joy of the NASCAR and running it. You know, these guys yesterday running these multiple crazy oval classes, and then they all get to kind of unwind a little bit. I would almost say unwind because, like the last race, the Losi Nascar race was sick and insane. They put so many of them out there, and it just turns into basically a bloodbath. But it is just fun and entertaining to watch. I saw a lot of frustration yesterday, which was kind of hilarious. I've been there. But, you know, what do we really need? I don't understand, you know, Horizon and Losi's issue here. You know, I explained to a few people yesterday, you know, we talk about the parts, we talk about things that have been out of stock. You talk about the diffs. Same diff that's been going in the Grom since it came out. They upgraded to a V2 to put the metal plantaries inside there, but they haven't been able to make those things for a year. So Horizon has definitely turned into a, you know, just-in-time, on-demand type of company that seems to not want to hold on to any kind of inventory, which is crazy because, you know, I mean, hobby is literally probably one of the highest profit margin businesses that you could just ever be involved in the world, but they don't want to sit on inventory. So I guess the first thing we got to think about is, hey, are they going to be able to supply us? What kind of supply are we going to get? You know, and I'm not expecting anything great. Like, it was kind of bad timing. I almost feel that they should have waited and dropped the 2025 cars and not tried to sneak the 24s out, but I'm assuming they cut the licensing deal earlier in the year, and due to production stuff, they couldn't get the cars out enough. I know locally that a lot of racers would have bought their cars around Black Friday, but they came in before Black Friday, then they were out forever, and then they didn't come in again until I don't know, mid to late December. So the whole timing of everything was off. I think there was maybe a couple shipments of some of the option parts. I don't even know if all the option parts even shipped. I think they did eventually, going through the actual videos and, you know, looking on the website and stuff. But you know, probably the biggest person that made the biggest impact is probably Carpies, because everybody got to do the wraps that they wanted to do and everything else. And it was pretty fantastic. So, you know, Losi and Horizon have released a few things lately talking about how the new ESC possibly might have a multiple protocol ESC built into it, so you can bind it with other Spectrum radios. So perhaps we might be getting a radio change. It's hard to say exactly what is going to happen and where these stock and non-stock lines are going to be drawn. Now, I've always been one that say that the rules needed to be opened up. Our local NASCAR class has shrank to almost nothing. You know, maybe there's 5 or 6 racers per heat. I've seen some places still having good success, but, you know, a couple months ago, everybody was riding that gravy train where it was like the 100 lapper, the 200 lapper, the 2-hour race and all this stuff like that. It seems to pretty much have faded away, but those I don't really get a lot of notifications from those groups on Facebook anymore. So, I believe that, things have maybe calmed down a little bit. Not 100% sure. But when the cars come out in 2025, I guess if you really want to make sure this time, you're probably going to need to pick up like 2 cars to make sure that you have parts and you get like good cars. Like, we just don't know yet. We can only go off of what they did in the past. And they might be able to, with Chinese New Year again being extended and the state of manufacturing over there, it's why this stuff keeps getting pushed out. If you look on AMain at like anything that was popular over the past couple months, like off-road tires, for example, every popular off-road tire is all on like back order. There's so many things that are on back order right now because they're transitioning again over there. Everybody over here is becoming a just-in-time as far as like not holding on to inventory and all this kind of stuff because they're making huge profits and they don't need to have assets, or inventory to claim losses and all this stuff right now. Just kind of the way the business cycles are going. And, the Chinese companies are doing it as well. Like, it's just kind of the way things are. So even if the cars do come out in like May and June, it's probably going to be the same thing. We're going to see this initial push and then they're going to go away probably for a couple months and then kind of recycle. If they get out in May, I'm actually not thinking that the cars will probably even make it out until like June or July at this point, because May's a pretty big statement. If it does, I will be super happy, and that will, make a lot of people happy as well. But seeing the availability of like, the tires and like splitters and all of this other stuff that they just should have, in a spare box, tells me that they still have to like make all this stuff to put onto these cars, and then they still don't have the stuff to like put in the spares box to like send to people. So it's kind of unfortunate, but hopefully the cars are better than they were, and hopefully the paint schemes are really cool. We see that they did a truck in 1/7 scale in fraction, so maybe we'll see like a truck body. That would be pretty cool. Until then, like I tell everybody, build a TT02 and put a truck body on it, or put a NASCAR body. Or if you're really feeling frosty, build yourself a 17.5 oval pan car and put a NASCAR body on that. Now we're talking some fun. So that's it, guys, about the NASCAR for now. We'll be back, in a couple months with NASCAR stuff when it comes back. Until then, I'll keep watching people race them and watching them go fast with them and beat their head against the wall with them like I did myself. If you have one, I hope you're enjoying yours, and check out the Losi NASCAR playlist. Maybe there'll be something on there that will help you out and make yours faster. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.